A web developer's best friend is actually the Chrome developer tool. So if you actually right click and inspect element or inspect over here, it's actually going to open the Chrome developer tools, or you can actually open it from the menu over here as well. So developer tools, and this particular window opens up and it has multiple tabs. Now for the most part, you're going to be playing around with the elements tab. So let's say if you have selected, if you click over here, this particular icon, you can actually beautifully, easily select whichever element you want to inspect. All right, so let's say if I want to inspect this particular element, I click over here, you see it highlights it in the Chrome Developer Tools in the Elements tag, or tab, and on the right hand side, all the corresponding styles that are being applied on this particular selected element shows up. So you see that this particular contact element has the A attribute. So that's why, so the A style. So that's why this particular one is highlighted. I'm not sure why the visited one is showing, although this particular link is actually not visited. I don't know why it's showing. But one particular thing to notice is, let's say if I come over here to my code, and let's say if I'm styling all the A elements to be, let's say, blue in color. So I'm going to say blue in color, save, and I come over here, refresh. You see that this particular one is grayed out and this particular one is black in color. So that basically highlights that, okay, this particular style is being activated. The browser is actually saying, oh, this is a link, and we are activating this particular style on this particular element. So that's why it's black in color to whatever style is being active. And this one is grayed out. The next thing you want to notice is that it's helpful that it actually tells you that this particular style is actually referenced from style.css on line number 1. This one is colon number 4. That means it's on line number 4. So let's take a look. I go over here, go to my my code, and you see this is on line number 4 as beautifully mentioned over here. Now, one other thing that I want to share with you is that let's say if you want to say that, okay, what happens when I hover over it? I want to inspect that particular state of that element. So you come over here, you select whichever element you want, and you go over here, this hover button. You click over here and you can actually say, okay, what happens when you focus over here? You click focus and it actually says, okay, this is the particular style that is being applied over here. So whatever element that you select, it reflects on the right hand side in the styles tab which styles are being activated by the browser for that particular state or that particular element. All right, so the focus state, if I make the active state, if I make the hover state, it actually basically shows you. Now one particular thing I want to just share is, let's say you are hovering and you're clicking at the same time, because you do that, right? You hover and then you click and then you focus, right? So let's say if both of these are being, those tasks are being done, what happens? So you see over here, if I just click over here to close this, you see both of these styles are being applied, but since they are contradictory, this is also background color and this is also background color. So in that case, it actually puts a line across. You see there's a line across. That means that these both styles are being applied, but this one is taking precedence. All right. So a lot of times when you have a big website, you have a lot of styles, you're going to see, or let's say if you're on google.com and you're trying to digest or understand how they're styling their pages. So I'm going to just go to Google and just Google blah, 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 doesn't matter. And let's say if you want to say, hey, which color are they using? You just right click, inspect, and this is the URL, and you see font style italic was actually not applied because this particular style is actually taking precedence. All right, and you see that they have actually used a lot of commas, so they may be styling the A element, the site element, the A with the link element, pseudo element. They're styling all of these different elements the same way. So that's their style sheet, and there's a reference over here to the entire style sheet that's being applied. Now, one last thing that I want to share with you is there's a tab called Computed. So a lot of times a lot of styles are happening over here, right? So there's a lot of it. And it might be difficult for you to look for it, right? So you can just come to compute it and you see, okay, given everything, what is the final output that's happening? So over here, you see everything that is actually finally concluded. So it's easier for you to look at in a simpler way. Now, one additional last thing I want to share with you for this video, and let's just go to our simple example over here, right? So I'm over here, and let's say I'm on the contact over here again. Now you notice these are the styles that I actually wrote, all right? But you see over here, there are certain styles which it says user agent style sheet. Now a user agent style sheet is the default style sheet which is applied by the browser. If you have actually no style sheet over here, so if I go and if I remove everything, save, refresh, there are still different colors, there's underline, there's different font sizes that is being applied on your page, right? That is called the user agent style sheet, and user agent is like another word for the browser. So let's say for all the links, the color is the WebKit link color, which is actually picking up from its whatever WebKit database. When you actually go over here, the mouse actually changes. That's called the pointer. So cursor should be a pointer when you actually go to that particular link, and text decoration should be underlined. So these are the default attributes or style properties which are being applied. So that's pretty much it for this video. I wanted to share with you about user agent, about default styles, about how to inspect elements, how to look into what styles are being applied or not applied, troubleshooting using the Chrome developer tools with the elements and the styles tab and the computer tab. That's pretty much it. I'm going to talk to you in the next video.